Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. My name is Dr. Zahid Manzoor. I am working as assistant professor in the Department of Pharmacology and Toxicology. Today, I am going to talk about the brief introduction of the pharmacology of nervous system. The learning objectives are to understand the basic division of nervous system, to elaborate the pharmacology of nervous system, to identify and recognize the different neurons working in the nervous system, and to become familiar with different neurotransmitters. First of all, I would like to give a brief introduction of nervous system. As you know, the nervous system is a very powerful and highly complex part of the human body. It is the major controlling, regulatory, and communicating system in the body. Nervous system is the center of all mental activities, including thought, learning, and memory. Nervous system works with the endocrine systems to maintain the homeostasis. It also detects the environmental changes and responds the body accordingly. Nervous system can be categorized into two main parts. The first part is the central nervous system, which includes the brain and spinal cord. The other major part is the peripheral nervous system. Peripheral nervous system contains all of the nerves which are originated from the spinal cord and brain, and these nerves are innervated throughout the body. Peripheral nervous system is further categorized into two main parts. The first part is the autonomic nervous system, which includes all of the communication with internal organs and glands through the sympathetic and parasympathetic nerve division. The other main part is the somatic nervous system, which communicates with the sense organs and voluntary muscles through the sensory and motor neurons. Now we look at the anatomy of the nervous system. Nervous system can be also called as visceral, vegetative, or involuntary nervous system. It is distributed widely throughout the body. It regulates autonomic functions that occur without conscious control. In the periphery, it consists of nerves, ganglia, and plexus that innervate all of the major organs. This picture represents the nerves innervation of the autonomic nervous system. This is the brain and it is the spinal cord, and these are the nerves which are originated from the spinal cords. These nerves combine together to form the plexus, and these nerves are innervated to all of the major organs like eye, like salivary glands, heart, lungs, liver, gallbladder, stomach, spleen, pancreas, and this is how this innervation has been occurred in the nervous system. Now see, what is the nerve? A nerve is an enclosed cable-like bundle of the nerve fiber called axon. A nerve provides a common pathway for the electrochemical nerve impulses called action potential. A nerve is composed of many neurons. So first we see what is the neuron. Neuron is the basic unit of the nerve fiber. It has a cell body, and in the cell body it has a nucleus. It has a long process called axon, which is covered by myelin sheath, and at the end this axon is ended in axon terminal. A neuron has many tiny processes called as dendroids, and these are responsible for receiving the messages from the other neuron, from any hormone, from any drug. Neurons can be categorized on the basis of structure and on the basis of physiology. First, we see the different types of neurons. The first neurons is the unipolar. it has one cell body, it has a long axon which is covered by myelin sheath, and it has many tiny terminals of the axon. It can receive the message and send in unidirection, and mostly these type of unipolar neurons are found in the embryonic stage. The other type of neuron is the bipolar neuron. It has one cell body, it has long axon, and it has a sensory receptor at one side. It can sense, it can receive the message from this side and send the impulses in this direction. And these type of neurons are often found in the sensory buds like taste buds, like retina, etc. The third type of neuron is the pseudo-unipolar neuron. The myelin sheath is absent in these types of neurons. It has sensory receptors at one side. They can receive the message from these ends and send it in this direction. The fourth category is the multipolar neuron, and it is the most developed type of neuron. These type of neurons has many dendrites from one side. They can receive a lot of information from these sides, and they can send impulses in these directions. They have axon, and which is covered by myelin sheath, and this axon is terminated into many branches to pass message to the other neurons. Neurons can be categorized on the basis of their function. So the first type of neurons are the motor neurons. These types of neurons can transmit impulses from the brain and spinal cord and send the message to the muscles, glands, and organs. The other type is the sensory neurons. Sensory neurons are the nerve cells that are activated by sensory input from the environment. For an example, when you touch a hot surface with your fingertips, the sensory neurons will be ones firing and sending off signals to the rest of the body. The third category is the interneurons. As the name suggests, interneurons are the ones in between. They connect spinal motor and sensory neurons. Interneurons can also communicate with each other, forming circuits of various complexity. We look at the neurotransmitters. Neurotransmitters are endogenous chemicals that enable neurotransmission. It is a chemical messenger which transmits signals across the chemical synapse. The chemical synapse may be a neuromuscular junction, which is the connection of the nerve and a muscle, or it may be from one neuron to another target neuron, or chemical synapse may be a muscle cell or a gland cell. This is the these are the two neurons, and which is connected at this site. If we magnify this site, it is interneuron junction. This is the nerve terminal of first neuron. It has some vesicles, and the neurotransmitters are packed in these vesicles. When there is any stimulation, these packed are activated and neurotransmitters are released, and the space between two neurons, this is called as synaptic cleft. Neurotransmitters are released from the pack and come into the synaptic cleft, and here they attack on their target receptors which are present on this neuron. When they bind to the receptors, they send the message to the other neuron, and upon sending the message, some of the enzymes are present here in the synaptic cleft. They act on these neurotransmitters and degrade these neurotransmitters. After degradation, these neurotransmitters are reuptake by the first neuron, and they come back to the first neuron. This is how the neuromodulation occurs in between the two neurons. Now we see some of the neurotransmitter. Neurotransmitters may be categorized on the basis of their structure. Some are the small molecule neurotransmitters, some are the large molecule neurotransmitters. The small molecule transmitters include monoamines such as acetylcholine, serotonin, histamine, some of the catecholamines like dopamine, norepinephrine, epinephrine, some of the amino acids like glutamate and GABA, whereas this large molecule transmitter includes, they also called as neuropeptides, and some of the examples are substance P and enkephalin, vasopressin. In general, neuropeptides are co-localized with one of the small molecule of neurotransmitter. That was all of my presentation.